All right. So we're going to start the second part of this protocol. For those of you who are watching on your own, you want to make sure you've at a minimum have 7 consecutive days of sunrise gazing. And here, what we mean by sunrise is really you want to be watching the horizon below the 15-degree mark in the morning. So if you can get up and watch, you can look at your DMinder app, which is in that email, and just see what angle the sun is at. I'm sure there are other apps if you don't like that app. I like that one because it tracks your vitamin D, which is what we're going to add in next. But you want at least 7 consecutive days watching the sunrise, being outside at sunrise. I say watching the sunrise very casually. It doesn't matter if you can see the horizon or not. You just want to be outside at sunrise. Doing that is going to prepare your body for the next part of this. Now, if you are not fair-skinned, it probably doesn't matter quite as much because you already have more melanin than most people. But I would still recommend this because it does talk to the brain. So it does let the brain know that we're going to be rewiring some pathways, and it does code the brain to know that it's going to be getting ready to use more vitamin D or to produce more vitamin D. So if you think, again, we're going back to where did our body stop evolving, roughly hunter-gatherer time, we would have been up with the sun. We would have been up with the sun. In the winter, the sun sleeps late, so we would have slept late. In the summer, the sun gets up early, so we would have gotten up early, at least in this half of the planet, in the northern hemisphere. So think about that. Like the sun it's a messenger that goes into your eyes and into your skin. And we were meant to be outside receiving the messages from the sun all day long. Like we have not evolved really fully to the point of understanding our bodies and our brains, of understanding the fact that we are inside all the time. So we are supposed to be outside all day, receiving these messages from the sun that cues these rhythms in our body to do all of these things, right? So because we don't do that anymore, now we're essentially trying to hack it by by being out in the sun at certain amounts of time, certain parts of the day. So the biggest one is sunrise. That's the one that's going to set off the entire circadian rhythm for the day. We're going to add in the next part of this protocol. The next part of this protocol is getting sunlight some other time during the day. Now, I'm going to suggest that you want to shoot for as close to solar noon as you can wherever you are. Solar noon is also a time where there will be a very high UV index. Okay, so if you have not been preparing your body by giving it the message through the early morning sunlight that we're going to be getting more sun, then there's a chance your skin is going to be more sensitive. So this is why we have a double layer of protection, and that is going to be the DMinder app that I asked you all to download. Again, I'm going to say this a million times. I'm not a doctor and I'm not your mother. So you have to be responsible for using these tools to keep yourself safe, because we don't want a sunburn. Sunburns equal skin cancer. We want to do everything just below a sunburn to teach the skin and the body and the brain to produce the melatonin levels that will keep us safe in the sun. So we've already started that process by getting up, being in the sunrise below 15 degrees every morning consistently, more or less, for at least 7 days. I would honestly say for most people, if you could shoot for 10, that would be great, but we're gonna say 7 as a minimum because I know some people have more melanin. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna aim for getting outside around solar noon. Now your app, the DMinder app, is going to tell you exactly when solar noon happens. It's gonna tell you what degree it's at in the sky. And if you set it up properly, it's gonna tell you how long you can be outside on each side to receive sunlight. So as you go through your app, it's going to have you put in your skin type. That's why I gave you all that chart. It's going to ask you how much clothes you're wearing. So you're going to put in how much clothes you're wearing for the day. It's going to ask you if it's cloudy, so there's all these options when you're setting it up. You want to do that because it's going to give you an accurate assessment of how long you can safely be outside at solar noon. and just stick with that. If you're someplace like where I'm at, like right now, we've got a lot of UV. Mine right now is between 10 and 15 minutes each side. I've worked my way up to that. When I first started this, it was like I could be outside for like 5 minutes sometimes on each side. So I've worked my way up to that. So use your app, make sure that you are not staying out longer without putting on protective layers of clothing. And what's going to happen is this is going to cue your body to start producing vitamin D much, much more quickly. So now we're adding on. Hey, body, we're waking up early. We're going to start these processes first thing in the morning to now we're going to cue it at solar noon too. We're going to cue it to start producing vitamin D. We want our body to be producing vitamin D during the summer because that is what our body is going to use. We actually store vitamin D and we can use it throughout the winter. Vitamin D is really important for regulating and helping to reset all of these processes in the body. Vitamin D is, I could go on a soapbox for this. I mean, it's so important. It is also converted from cholesterol. So vitamin D is made in your body using cholesterol. So this is another way that we would stay healthy, right? Like we would eat super fatty meats, lots of red meat as a hunter-gatherer society in most parts of the world. Red meats, gamey meats. Obviously, eventually some places ate fish and chicken, but the point is that we were eating all of it. Like there was none of this like, oh, watch your cholesterol. Like, no, like we're meant to have cholesterol in our bodies being produced because that is what gets converted to vitamin D. Why we're sick in this country is because we don't move enough and we don't get enough sunlight. So all of that cholesterol that gets made in our bodies isn't getting converted to vitamin D. So then we have too much of this cholesterol just floating around in our bodies, not being used for anything. So again, we are teaching our brains and our bodies how to use these processes. And this is going to be good for so many things. This is going to cue eye health. It's going to cue brain health. It's going to cue skin health. It's going to cue hormonal health. That's a big one. So this next phase, this is where a lot of people will start to see some of the changes in their body even more dramatically. I think with the sunrise, we notice sometimes our eyes feel different. Sometimes our mood feels different. Our energy feels different. When we start adding in sun at solar noon, we're going to start noticing what our body is, where it's struggling, what it needs. A lot of people get a big boost from this. Huberman talks about this really helping with libido to get some sun past the sunrise. Even the sunrise will help with libido, but if you can get outside during the day, again, get those broader spectrum UVs, helping with libido because it does help repair the hormonal cycle around our sex organs. It helps our body burn extra cortisol, extra adrenaline. So while you're in the sun later today, if you can, just see what happens when you feel your body. Now, inevitably, I feel like I'm going to get, because we live in the society we live in, what if I can't stay out for the whole time that my app tells me? That's okay. This is literally one of those things. 5 minutes is better than nothing. If you can go on a 5-minute break at work and go outside and get some sun, do it. Now, last caveat, again, not your doctor, not your mother. Do not have anything on the skin that you are putting under the sunlight. I mean, I guess sunscreen, if you're going to wear sunscreen throughout your day or whatever, again, not your mom, not your doctor. I would say not even sunscreen. I actually have had 2 chemical reactions to sunscreen in my life. The first one was enough to hospitalize me. So I just don't mess around with it. If I use it, I use pure zinc, which I doubt any of you are wearing to work because it makes your face really white. That being said, that's my experience, my body, my preference. I would recommend, and there is science to back this up, not having anything except aloe vera on the skin that you are putting in the sun. So if you are going out in the sun at work and you are wearing makeup, put a hat on, roll your sleeves up, and that morning before you go to work, don't lather on any lotions or anything on your skin. Just use some aloe vera. Know that you're going to expose those arms or your legs to the sun. Go stand outside with the arms and legs exposed. Again, anything is better than nothing. Anything. We are designed to be outside all day long. Just think about that. So the more that you can get outside throughout your day and expose your your skin in these small amounts to the sun, like the better off your health is going to be. Again, I'm not telling you to go outside all day long without any protection and just roast yourself in the sun. Not what I'm saying. I'm sure you all get that. But this next phase is really, really important. It's going to help with fatigue too and brain fog. So if any of you suffer with that, like the thing I noticed the most after this, doing this second part of the protocol, was how much my brain fog started to lift. Not as much as it has now that I'm doing my protocol, which I'll talk about at another time. Because I'm now on, I guess, what I would call probably stage 3 of this protocol, where I started with the morning sunrise, but definitely a huge decrease in brain fog for me, adding in the solar noon sun. So that's the next part. Get your DMinder app out. See if you can get some sunlight around solar noon. I'm going to challenge you all to try this week. Just get creative. Like I said, even 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, better than 0 minutes. Your eyes have already been cued. They know that you're going to be outside in the sun if you've been watching the sunrise. See if you can do it without sunglasses. Again, do not look at the sun when you are out at solar noon. You're not trying to look at the sky anymore. That's over. After 30 degrees of the horizon, we definitely don't look towards the sun. But your eyes should be able to withstand being outside without sunglasses. And we want this because our eyes are the receptor that's going to take in. Now, again, if you're on a boat on the water, looking at steel, having that reflected in, wear some sunglasses. But if you're just outside for 5-10 minutes, see if you can do it without sunglasses. And if you can't do it for the whole time without sunglasses, just do it for a few minutes, put the sunglasses on, and you'll gradually work up to that. Again, sunglasses are going to block the UVs that are giving us those messages. So we're not staying out for a long time, exposing the eyes to tons of UV, but 5 to 10 minutes of UV for the eyes is part of those processes are going to get triggered through there. So I used to have the kind of eyes where I could not do anything without sunglasses. I mean, anything. I would walk out in the morning and I would be like blinded because my pupils are super huge. If any of you have ever looked at my eyes up close, you'll know this. Like my pupils are insanely big all the time. And it's not because I am on anything, that's just how they are. I could not do anything without sunglasses. And now I almost never wear sunglasses. So my eyes just got used to it. And I thought that was crazy. Huberman actually talks about this. And so does, what is that other doctor who's really big on all of the stopping the aging? Anyways, I'll think of it. But they both talk about this, how they noticed that their eyes changed with regards to being able to be outside without sunglasses. So, and then Huberman he's a doctor of neuroscience and optometry. Peter Adia. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Eddie. So the point is, please hear what I'm saying. I'm not telling anybody to do anything crazy or extreme. I'm just telling you we are designed to be outside under the light of the sun with no sunglasses on. This is how we start to add this step. We want to build that vitamin D. Trust me, everybody is vitamin D deficient. Everybody is magnesium deficient. So we're going to start with the vitamin D. Don't worry about onboarding more magnesium unless you already are doing electrolytes and the salt in the morning, in which case you are already onboarding your magnesium for now. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend everybody starts every day with a tiny piece of Celtic sea salt on their tongue, let it dissolve, drink down some water. You've just now replenished a lot of the minerals and nutrients that your body is going to be missing. One of those things being magnesium. There's 3 different codes of magnesium contained in Celtic sea salt, and we are all magnesium deficient. The processes in the body that create ATP in the cells need vitamin D. Vitamin D is incredibly magnesium. It leaches off of magnesium. So we want to make sure that we're keeping vitamins and minerals up as we do this. As we go further along in the Sun protocol, I'll be talking more about the importance of that. But for now, you're okay. You're not going to be getting enough sunlight quickly enough in the next week that it's going to have a huge effect on your magnesium levels. But we'll talk about that as we get further in, just so that we can start paying attention to that, because magnesium was another one where I did not realize how much it affected brain function until I did. So this week, your challenge, should you choose to accept it, try to get outside close to solar noon. Again, you've got like a 4.5 hour window around solar noon where you're good. So there's not a huge amount of stress here. If it's 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., even 3 p.m., if you live anywhere near where I live here in Arizona, you're good. So it's most of the day that we're talking about. See if you can get outside today. Try to do that every day this week. And like I said, just please, 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 for the love of everything holy, try to get sun or try to get skin in the sun exposure that does not have anything on it. I'll do another Q&A probably next week. And if anybody has any questions or wants to talk about the different research around different oils that you can or can't wear, we can do that. But for now, I'm saying the only thing I fully trust, the only thing that one of the doctors I follow for this later part of the program, she has a similar thing that she does. She also has done research. Again, neither of us are dermatologists, but she has also done research and concluded that the only thing she feels is safe to have on your skin is aloe vera in the sunlight. That was what my research concluded. So that is what I stick to. There are differing opinions out there, and there is a little bit of research around some oils that may or may not be okay. So we can talk about that in the Q&A. But for now, I'm going to say clean skin, aloe vera is okay. If you're wearing anything else on your skin, keep it protected when you're in the sun. And you guys have got this. Email me any questions. I feel like I'm going to get questions. I am not a tech person. So if you're having trouble setting up your app, accessing your app, I can't help you with that. If you don't know where something is, you can try asking me in the app, but chances are I'm probably not going to be a ton of help because as you all have been with me on this journey, you see I'm not a tech person. So, but I can, if anybody's like, hey, you said there was this about the sunlight, or the clouds, where do I find that? I can try to help you with that. But again, if you're having trouble setting up your app, not your person. What else? I know that's a lot of information for a Monday morning, but it's valuable and we are doing so good. I can't even believe, you guys, it's June 12th. This is our 12th day. We're almost halfway there. It happens so fast. So just remember, you are reprogramming something that has been not accessed for a really long time. So have a lot of grace with yourself. If you feel tired, take a nap. If you've been consistently going back to bed, I'm going to challenge you after you get your sunlight midday today. Tomorrow would be a great day to try to push yourself to stay up through the sunrise all the way through the day, because that midday sun boost is going to help you. So because there is a point where we're offering grace for ourselves, and then there's a point where we're making excuses. And if we can get our body to fully commit to this circadian rhythm, then we're multiplying the effects that it has. So if you get your midday sun today, tomorrow, try to push yourself through, like where you get up at sunrise and you're just up for the day. See what that feels like. One hard day is going to equal a lot more ease in the future. So again, here for your questions. Take a second, enjoy this beautiful, beautiful morning. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so beautiful still. Grateful for that every single day. Just finding your gratitude as you allow your eyes to gaze into the distance as the sun is rising. For those of you who can see the actual sun, you can actually watch the sunrise. Just as soon as it starts to feel intense in your eyes, look away. Or if the sun starts nearing the 15-degree mark, look away. But otherwise, I'm going to leave you all with that to digest. I'm so proud of you. And tomorrow we will be back with a meditation. And yeah, and in the meantime, any questions you have about this new part of the protocol, send them my way. So, Har Maria, say my loves, have a beautiful day, and I will see you all tomorrow.